Good afternoon, I'm Sally Spicer with 2NURFM Hunter News. Newcastle MP Tim Crackenthorpe has used a meeting with New South Wales Heritage Minister Mark Speakman to highlight the long-standing significance of the former City Post Office building in Newcastle. Emergency funding for roof repair will be a part of an initiative provide the Awilwickel Land Council with a report which meets minimum maintenance standards for the historic site. Tim Crackenthorpe says the minister has promised to stay on top of the issue.
I met with the minister and the main objective was to make the minister aware of just how significant this building is to the people of Newcastle. And I certainly left with him committing to be proactive on the issue and have it at the top of the list.
A bulk liquid fuel storage terminal at Mayfield has been fined for failing to comply with its environmental protection licence. The terminal is run by Stolthaven Australia, and while the Environmental Protection Authority says there was no environmental damage done, the risk alone is enough to justify the $30,000 fine. The company exceeded its annual throughput for diesel and biodiesel by 260 megalitres between October 2013 and October 2014. It also received a caution for non-compliance of control and disposal of its wastewater. Federal Charlton MP Pat Conroy is accusing the Abbott government of favouring coalition seats and ignoring the Glendale Transport interchange in a $200 million infrastructure cash giveaway. Labor says coalition seats took the lion's share of the National Stronger Regions Fund in the first round. Pat Conroy says he's looking for an explanation.
It's hard to understand the reasons why it has been overlooked. It's been the priority project for all 11 local councils in our area, and I've written to the Deputy Prime Minister Warren Truss to get an understanding of what are the reasons, because I fail to see why a project that is of such huge merit and importance to our region can be overlooked.
Port Stephens councillors have voted to enact a moratorium on property owners' requirement to seek approval for the removal of trees they judge to pose a safety risk. Support for the move is not universal, however, with some seeing the moratorium as being inconsistent with council's wider tree management policy. Rochelle Flood of Port Stephens Green says the move could be detrimental in the long run.
Residents can already remove trees that they find dangerous. They don't need to wait for council approval. They can remove the tree and just take a photo. So basically, council have pushed this through saying it's a safety concern when really it's not, and it could just result in trees being removed unnecessarily, which could harm wildlife.
5 students will be the first Hunter TAFE team to take part in the National Instruments Autonomous Robotics competition. Over 7 months, each team must develop an autonomous robot which competes in a live contest each month, culminating in a national competition in Sydney in September. The competition is designed to encourage development and innovation skills for participating students. Hunter TAFE Electronics head teacher David Leask says every team should be proud regardless of the outcome.
I do think for this level competition, it's a real victory for all of the competitors in this competition to even make it to the start line. It's an enormous undertaking to be able to design, prototype and build an autonomous vehicle that has the capability that's asked of the competitors.
And briefly, power has been restored to about 2,200 homes and businesses at Midday after a tree branch fell on power lines in the area at about 10 this morning.
Sport for our sponsor, newcastlecheapestcars.com.au.
The New South Wales Blues have suffered a close loss to Queensland in the opening of the game of the State of Origin series. Knights player Beau Scott scored his first Origin try for the Blues, but a 73rd minute field goal from Cooper Cronk settled the Maroon lead, finishing 11-10. Scott will now be looked over by doctors before he travels to New Zealand. Kurt Barnes has secured himself a place in next month's US Open tournament. The Muswellbrook golfer took on 38 holes in 30-degree heat at the Kinojo Golf Club in what turned into a 5-man playoff for 3 positions in the competition. Barnes has not competed in a major US competition since the 2003 US Amateur. And Merryweather's Philippa Anderson is well on her way to her goal of finishing in the top 5 of the second-tier World Surf League. The national footer will join the national team in Nicaragua to take part in the ISA World Surfing Games on Sunday. 2NURFM News Time is 12:10.